Hey everybody, welcome to Watch What Crappens. This is a two-part episode. Enjoy. Well, hello and welcome to Watch What Crappens, the podcast for all that crap we love to talk about on Ye Olde Bravs. I'm Ronnie. That's Ben over there. Hello, Ben.
Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Good. Welcome to Monday, my little friend.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's wonderful to be here.
And from your childhood home in New York.
In New York, yeah, I'm back in my childhood bedroom. If my audio sounds a little funky, I apologize. This is the satellite office here in Katona, New York, and it is what it is. Ha!
Oh, well, let's just wait for your dad to start printing something in the middle of this podcast, because that's how it rolls when you're at home.
We are located adjacent to the HP OfficeJet Pro 8710. And looking forward to seeing what gets printed out during the podcast. It'll be great.
Well, tonight is Crappy Hour Live. Why? Because it's the third Monday of the month. What do you think of that? It's the first and third Monday of every month. Are you deleting something? I hear your
I'm literally not touching a single thing.
Oh, God,
what are you hearing?
Me again?
What are you hearing? What are you deleting?
It sounded like you were deleting a bunch of stuff. Like it sounded like a delete button or something. Jesus Christ. This show,
you know what? While Ronnie's making announcements, let me use this time to delete my secret documents.
After this many years of doing it, this is still how we roll, you know?
Yeah.
Last week, we had bad audio on me. We didn't know. We had no idea. We just put out a whole week of episodes. So anybody who's wondering why that was, that's why. We didn't notice. Because this is Watch What Crappens, okay? And shit gets taken care of a week later. So that stuff is fixed. So if it was making you so crazy you couldn't listen to those episodes, they should be fixed now. So you can go try again. And thank you for being back today and trying again today. We are trying to get it together, I promise.
Yeah. And thanks for letting us know, though, because sometimes we don't notice these things and people are like, what's going on with your audio? So we appreciate that.
Yes. And like most men on Bravo, we're just a work in progress, guys.
We're a work in progress, guys. You know,
so
tonight
Crappens
is 3.0.
Crappy Hour. And that's our Instagram live show. Tonight we have a special guest. It's our first time we've had a special guest on Crappy Hour. Hopefully we'll be doing more of it. Let's see how it goes tonight. But we will be doing that 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also watch that on our YouTube, which is youtube.com/watchwhatcrappens. Okay. That's that. When we're not doing that, we do Dwell Hello, which is our House Hunters International podcast for Wondery Plus. So that's a Wondery Plus thing. And then we do bonus episodes. We've done a Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and Real Housewives of Potomac trailer trash, which is where we, you guessed it, trash the trailer of those shows. Those are on our Patreon and available as Crappens on Demand videos, as is this episode. We are on video. I'm seeing Ben's room, seeing Ben's beautiful face, Ben seeing my beautiful face.
Look, you know what you can see above me? This is exclusive to Crappens on Demands, people. You can see a little bonnet I put on the air conditioner so that way a cold draft does not come in the room. So isn't that a scenic background for everyone to look at?
I was going to ask you if that was leaking or what's going on back there.
No, it's basically put a shower cap on the air conditioners. For years, I would come to my childhood bedroom and it would be so cold and drafty. And it turns out that the wall unit is just a sieve for cold air. And it turns out you can go on Amazon and you can buy these shower caps for your air conditioner. So I have a shower cap on the air conditioner back there. And you can also see the little edge of a Sky vodka bottle that when I was 21 I bought, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I kept it as a keepsake. And now I should just really throw it out because when you're an adult, it turns out you can just buy a Sky vodka bottle anytime you want. And it's not a keepsake. So
yeah, now you just look creepy. You know, when you're an adult and you have empty Sky bottles all over your room, it's not a good look.
There's all sorts of random stuff in here. It's like it's not great. It's not great, I'll tell you that much.
Home again, home again. All right. Speaking of being home again, Real Housewives of New York, am I right? Oh, my God. It's just like a warm cup of soup at the end of a cold day.
Feels so wonderful being in New York to recap the season finale of Real Housewives of New York. I just felt like I was just living inside the show.
Yeah. So it's the season finale. So congratulations to everybody involved. You did it. You did it.
I have to say, by the way, general note, I think sick Jessel is the ideal Jessel. because I've really enjoyed Jessel all season, but it turns out that when she's sick, she becomes even more entertaining. I really enjoyed her. I'm so sick, Bobbit. My voice sounds like this, Bobbit, and all I can talk about is just, oh, shut the fuck up, everyone. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed.
I'm enjoying her journey into Brenda Vaccaro as well. It's like a slow journey, but I feel like by the time she's an older lady, she is going to be like, well, you know what I think about that. You know, just kind of like an old-timey fisherman on a wharf, you know, who will take you across the sea to find your treasure for a couple of shillings.
Yeah. We made it to the end of the season.
I'll be like, open up, Captain. Just open up about your feelings. Because I'm sick of talking about my feelings, mate. Just be open and honest, Captain. Sai just passes on a speedboat going, you need to stop lying, Jessel. You need to stop lying.
I didn't say that on camera.
So, the episode opens up gloriously with Sai. They're like, let's wrap up the season with Sai. So she's in a wig shop and she's trying on a wig and she's like, that's a vibe. She's a vibe, right? She's a vibe. Of course, no one answers because literally people who hadn't even seen this show yet already knew what a dud she was and were not going to participate in any dialogue with her.
I know they do audience testing for these shows where they show like the episodes to people or casting tapes, and then they get feedback. Usually you have like a little knob that you turn, like if it's good, you turn to the right, and if you start having bad feelings, you turn it to the left. Have you ever done one of those focus groups?
I've wanted to do one.
I've done
so
one.
badly. I feel like I did one. I've done focus groups before for like random consumer products, but never like the knobs while you're watching something thing.
Yes, I have, and I was completely wrong on mine, but it turns out right. I don't know public sentiment at all. So, but Sai, they should have done that to Sai, but instead of just like pulling people off the street, they should have just gotten like people who work in the store, you know, just random everyday people, you know, just stop in a TJ Maxx, see how random people react to a Sai.
Just know? People, they're like, ma'am, before you walk into this TJ Maxx, Sai De Silva's inside, so we're going to give you this meter and just tell us your experiences as you walk around her.
Yeah. There's like a Nathan hot dogs. And they're like, uh-oh, Sai's coming. Whip out the knob. Whip out the knob. Because this wig lady, the knob would have been all the way left, is what I'm saying. She's like, get out of my store. She's like, it's a vibe, right? Yeah, it's a vibe, right? Yeah, a vibe. It's a vibe. It's a vibe, right? It's a vibe. Okay, you can just keep saying it and it does work because the lady does eventually answer. She goes, uh-huh.
She's like, ma'am, this is a Spirit Halloween store. We really don't care about your vibes. We're here for 2 months, and then we're gone.
So then Brynn is getting a reading from Dante, her psychic. Do not confuse it with other scenes where Brynn is pretending to read around a psychic because she really loves to read, guys. Only antique books, okay? No Kindles here. So she is getting a reading, most likely from antique cards from Dante.
Yeah, Dante is great. He's the tarot card reader, and he's like, girl, you might be caught in the middle of someone's issues. Like two friends who are not getting along, and you're friends with both of them. It's like, wow, Dante, how'd you figure that out? She's on the Real Housewives. Who would have thought she might be in the middle of lady drama?
I know, between takes, she's sitting in a director's chair that says, Real Housewives of New York City. There's like a little bottle of, Pinot and a feather boa. He's like, things might be dramatic for you. I don't know. So I really like Dante because he wasn't really the stereotypical psychic you'd see. He's just like, yeah, you know what? You might be caught in the middle of some issues, I think, with girls. So, people aren't getting along, but you're friends with both of them. I was like, wow, Kathy's doing cards now? It's like the male version of Kathy doing cards. Love it.
Like chocolate, chocolate, chocolate. Eck. That Kathy?
Yeah. And Brynn's like,
well, are the issues going to get resolved before Saturday? Because I'm having a birthday party and I'm inviting both of them. It's going to be sexy.
And he's like, the thing to balance it out is you, because you're in the power position. So maybe you're like, look, people, it's my birthday. Let's call a truce. Let's have fun. I don't know. I don't really write scripts for people generally in their regular life, but feel free to take it.
If only this show had a simmering feud big enough to actually call a truce on, that would be a dream. So then we have Jenna just doing a photo shoot for her eyelashes, and it's a lot of
Because what else?
just it's yeah, because it's like a photo shoot, and then we
The show
have
loves
Uba.
taking pictures every week. I don't think there's been an episode where people haven't been taking pictures. Is that weird?
Everyone's, just there are a lot of photo shoots in general on the Real Housewives, which is very funny because I feel like in my life, none of my friends take photo shoots. It's just not something that happens often.
Right, but specifically on this show, they're constantly taking
even more.
photos of each other.
It's even more here.
Every week it's something. So, which is fine. I'm not, I don't care, but it's just something I've noticed. So Jenna she's doing her love scene eyelash kits. And then we see her like sitting with the models, she's like, love your teeth. Stunning. Your teeth are, oh my God, hold on. You look just, these lashes, Jenna, do you need us to tell the model to do anything? I wanted to tell you that the way time is money, Jenna. Time is money.
So then we go to Uba, and she meets up with Aaron at Bryant Park. We found out it was Bryant Park for some sort of bumper, it's like bumper cars, but in tubes. And so Aaron, by the way, I have to say this about Aaron. I feel like we've spent the whole season fixating on her attitude without realizing how silly her voice sounds. Have you noticed her voice sounds silly at all times? Because we're always talking to her about she talks like this, but if you listen to her, she really talks like this. She has such I'll see if I could do it. Last night I was like, you know what? Her voice is so nasal. She's like, oh my God, I'm going bumper karting with Uma, and I love it. Never mind. It's too late. Too late in the season to start a new voice for Aaron. I take it all back.
I'm just sticking with the one I have. It's like, now's the time for Uba and I to have fun together. Not with our hands, but with bumper cars like adults do. Okay. No one came at you with their hands. She took your sunglasses off. Okay. Can we stop trying to sound like she WWF'd your ass, Aaron? Okay?
I know.
Stop. Enough. Micro. Karen.
So they are doing bumper cars in Bryant Park. They're sort of Uba's spinning around a lot. And she's like, I love bumper cars so much. I usually get kicked out. Which it's like, if you get kicked out of bumper cars, that's you may have a problem. I'm sorry. Like if you're so aggro with your bumper car that you actually get banned from the bumper car. I mean, the bumper cars are designed for aggro people. So I'm excited to see that side of her more.
It's just I would not be one of the people who's working there because it's fucking annoying. Like she's constantly bashing into the barriers on purpose and then going into
Yes.
the area where people are skating. And you know what? I mean, I don't even give a fuck about the safety of the kids who are skating. Run them over with your bumper cars. That would actually be fun for me. That would be a good scene. I don't care about that. But as the person who's probably had the job to move those bumpers around at some point in my life, please stop doing that. You're not hilarious, rich lady. Stay within your bumper.
Yeah, bumper cars are a funny phenomenon in general as a concept of an amusement. It's like, hey, let me simulate a car crash with you. This will be fun. It's
I
like,
know.
Why do we enjoy that?
I love when people get mad about it. Like when you're bumper carring people and then you slam into someone and they go, ow,
I know.
That really hurt. That really hurt my neck.
and then the rest of the day they're complaining about their neck. Like you literally were in simulated car accident with me on purpose. What are you complaining about?
I know. It's like getting splashed when you're in a pool. So they're just like spinning in circles and stuff like that. And Uba's like, this is the Aaron that I love. Okay, now that, we argue in Anguilla, but that is like what Aaron and I are meant. Okay, like we just like this is what we like to do. We like to look pretty and we like to have fun and eat at the same time. This is the Aaron that I love. Like, the Aaron that you love is driving terribly in traffic. That's what you're basically telling us.
The Aaron that you love is sitting there waiting for you to crash into her. I mean, that's the Aaron I love too. You know what I mean? I'd probably like Aaron a lot more if she just sat in a crosswalk waiting for traffic to come. You know what I mean? I probably would like it too. She's like, I really like the version of Aaron that sits on a shelf next to those balloon squirt gun targets that you spray water at through their mouth until the balloon explodes on top of their head. Like, I would love that, Aaron, too. You know, just put people you don't love in situations that you love. That's what I say.
I have to say something. This is really bothering me. It has nothing to do with this show. I'm sitting in a chair. I got a new chair. So I'm at my parents' house, and every time I record here, I always have to sit in this like hard wooden chair from like the 1800s, it feels like. And it's so uncomfortable because we sit here for hours podcasting. And so this weekend, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to Staples and I'm going to buy a new chair. And I went to Staples, and as luck would have it, it was the Staples chair event. So I found this.
Wow, that is as luck would have it. Jesus.
It was a chair event. And it was
chair event.
I knew it was a chair event because when you walked in, there was a sign that just said, it was literally like the Aaron of Staples events. It just said chair event. And it didn't even have a streamer or anything. It just had a sign that said chair events.
Did every chair you saw say chair event?
It was like chair event.
Chair event.
Cackling chairs. So I sat in this one chair and it just felt so wonderful. And I was like, this is it. This is the chair. This is like, the Sorting Hat has given me this chair. And so I bought it and I brought it home and I built it. And it didn't feel as nice as the store, but I was like, it's okay. It needs to be broken. And now that I'm sitting in it, it's pushing me forward and I'm so mad. And I'm like, I don't want to take this back. I don't want to undo this work. And I don't know what to do.
I don't know what you mean it's pushing you forward.
You know, like when you get pushed forward in a chair and you don't want to be pushed forward, you just want to like be back.
There's no that big
forward.
Circular thing that you screw and unscrew should under it. Wait, was it under it?
I feel like I'm sliding forward in the chair.
Yeah, you have to adjust it, babe.
I'm trying.
We're both reaching around our chairs. I'm reaching around mine so I could tell him where the thing is.
I feel like I'm giving my chair a handy. Yeah, baby. Okay. I feel like I just needed to if you see me squirming, I just felt like I had to explain why I was squirming so much. I'm sorry.
I'm always squirming. I have a thing that's supposed to help you with your posture, and so it curves out. You know, what do they call it? It curves out pretty dramatically.
Like a lumbar.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And so I have to like move my ass all the way back, and then it like does a little U on my back. It doesn't make me sit up straighter. Okay. It makes me complain more. That's what it does. So thanks for that.
Another Aaron feature.
Well, good luck with your chair.
Aaron chair event. So Uba,
chair event.
Welcome to the Staples chair event. When was the last time you fucked in a chair?
We fuck in a chair all the time. Abe can fuck other people in a chair, but only if they're dudes. We're swingers. Okay, so let's see. So Uba, you know, they do like their wacky wild. Uba's like, we're such fun, happy, lovely girls having a good time. Like she has that whole moment. And then they start talking about the other night at Swingers. And Aaron's like, you know, I was like, let's keep it going. Let's just keep it moving. I mean, we were just so happy, you know. I just felt a little bad about Pavet. I was like, you started it again, ma'am.
Yeah.
Also.
And it was like, well, you went in on him a little. I mean, about his traveling and his points. Like, who does that? And I think that you guys, because his answer was like not what you wanted. And Aaron's like, yeah, but like his answer was, she lets me do what I want. Like, I don't get that. That's not a chair event. That's like a doormat event.
And so we see the clip of Pavet being like, well, you know, I just want to travel. I want to eat. I want to have some fun. And, you know, like being able to do stuff you love with someone else, like she's perfect for that. Okay, not the most romantic outfit or answer, you know, it's not going to like be an Outlander moment, but neither was Abe's. Abe was the same thing. Abe was like,
yeah,
I like M&Ms and she likes M&Ms, so we just like had kids together. And his answer was literally, it was almost the same thing. So I don't know what high horse she's riding around on, okay? But both of your husbands need to work on their answers to things.
Yeah, I agree.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
Watch What Crappens and Winter is Crappening are the funniest recap podcasts. But if you want something more eerie, try the new podcast Ghost Story, about my investigation into a murder-suicide in my own family. Ghosts aren't real. At least that's what I've always believed. Sure, odd things happen in my childhood bedroom, but ultimately, I shrugged it all off. That is, until a couple of years ago when I discovered that every subsequent occupant of that house is convinced they've experienced something inexplicable too, including the most recent inhabitant who says she was visited at night by the ghost of a faceless woman. It just so happens that the alleged ghost haunting my childhood room might just be my wife's great-grandmother, who was murdered in the house next door by 2 gunshots to the face. Ghost Story, a podcast about family secrets, overwhelming coincidence, and the things that come back to haunt us. Follow Ghost Story wherever you get your podcasts. Listen everywhere on October 23rd, or you can binge early and ad-free on Wondery Plus the same day.
So Aaron's like, I mean, this is like your opportunity to say something nice about your wife in front of all these people. Like, all these people. Like, she's amazing. She's a lovely mother. She really knows how to tell a trauma story, things like that, you know? And then you're not saying it.
How to repeat a phrase that she's heard over and over again, you know, something like that. Chair event, cackling house.
Chair event.
Also, just while I'm bragging on Abe here, Abe also really didn't have anything romantic to say, even during your fake vow renewal session that was not even close to the month that you actually got married, that was sponsored by like 10 different sponsors that you wrote your own vows for. I mean, he was like, yeah, I met Aaron through like a mutual iCal event. We didn't even know the other one was going to be at. So we like had babies together.
Yeah. Abe is not someone that I look at and think romance. Abe is someone I look at and think, when is he going to get wooden teeth? That's what I think of with him.
You look right on the back of a penny. That's what I think.
Love your currency.
Making copper fashionable again. So Uba's like, well, I love the answer, you know? And Aaron's like, but it's just a common answer. And she goes, no, because he's saying like, I love this person because she's letting me be me. Which also is not very romantic. Like, it shouldn't be about you. The reason you love the person should not be about you, okay? It should be about that person. So she's like, yeah, I want someone who's going to keep up with my shit. And anyone who takes my shit, I'm going to love that person. You know, that's who I'm going to love.
Right. And she goes, and another thing, you know, I come into the event and then Sai's husband, he like pins me down and is like, why are you not married? Like, why are you not married? And Aaron's like, he did? Oh, I heard that. I heard that at the chair event. So then we see like the flashback of David being like, what's a woman like you doing without a man? So then Uba's like, I did not find my Abe. I did not find my Pavitt. I did not find my David. And once, you know, I didn't find any of the 5 men that Brynn's always talking about. I found no one. And once I do, like, maybe I might change my mind.
People do ask single people that all the time. Like, what's wrong with you?
So obnoxious.
It is so obnoxious. But I mean, I don't get offended. I've just found ways to deal with it because people say, Ronnie, I mean, you're like decent. And also, by the way, they don't overload me with the compliments either. I feel like at least with Uba, they're like, wow, Uba, you're a supermodel. You're stunningly gorgeous. Everywhere people go, they're like dropping everything to watch you walk through the door. You're a lovely person. With me, they're like, Ronnie, you're slightly hunchbacked, but you can speak well. And it looks like you can still use your handwriting, which is always nice. You can say 2 words in Spanish. Why aren't you married? You know, but I just usually say, you know, I just don't feel the need to settle. And then I kind of look over at their partner and that usually stops it.
Yeah.
If anyone needs advice.
Yeah, that's a good one. I once went to a wedding and it was in a church and the priest was making some sort of general prayers. He was like, let's have a blessing for those who are sick. Let's have a blessing for those who are no longer with us. Let's have a blessing for the people who are single. And I was like, whoa. I mean, at that point I was single and I was like, excuse you. Okay. Don't put me down in like war-torn nations and like ailing just because I'm single. You're a priest. Where's your lady?
Yeah, no kidding. Well, maybe he was talking about himself because in a lot of religions, the priest can't be married, right?
Well, so I hear.
Maybe it's like, please pray for those of us who aren't getting any right now.
Well, then he says, because we all know you're not complete until you've met another person in your life. He was saying this to the bride and groom. It's like, well, you guys thought you were doing great and you had all these accomplishments and you were doing great, but you always thought you had it all, but you didn't have it all because you needed to find someone else in your life. And I was like, sir.
I think it's what people do to tell themselves that they made the right choice. Because a lot of people do settle because they believe that they do have to settle. Like, you have to be with somebody. Like, we've all made that. Every gay guy, I think, has that friend where you make that deal where it's like, oh my God, if we're both 40 and neither one of us is married, we're going to get married to each other. And when you're 20, that sounds so good. And then when I hit 40, I was like, fuck no. I'm not marrying your stupid ass. I'm not taking care of your ass forever either. No, I don't want to get out,
Yeah, so I was totally on Uba's side when she was annoyed
Me
at
too.
David.
And
for
those
this
sayings
ridiculous
about it
comment.
even make me crazy. Like, every pot has a lid. I fucking hate that saying. You know what? I don't use
That's
lids.
also not true.
And actually, I don't believe in lids on my pots. I like to boil open, okay? I'm a bareback fucking boiler, so take that.
Wow.
And you know what I realized? You don't need a whole... Sometimes you do need to boil with a lid, right? Occasionally. I don't like doing it often, but occasionally you need it. And I had this whole drawer full of lids, which, guess we can relate to people that I've banged in the past. And I was like, I don't need all of these in my phone. So guess what I bought? I went onto Amazon and I bought a one lid that fits all pots. It's huge and it has rims all around it.
A big slutty lid.
One man you can call that fits your needs, and then you can put him in a drawer and not think about him again until the next time you fucking need him. And that's called living your life to its fullest. Okay, now get the fuck out of here with your couple's advice.
The one man who services all the pots. I would call it it's the jigalid. I'm just a jigalid, and everywhere I go, pots need my topping. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if... I have a question. Like, if every pot has a lid, then why can you just buy lids on their own? There you go.
There you go.
So, the point is that Uba was annoyed, and I support her. So then Uba then says, Uba's also saying how she's actually seeing this guy in Connecticut. And the only person she has told has been Sai. And she goes, Erin is New York time. If I told Erin about this, everyone and their mother and their children will know.
Well, only if they subscribe. Only if they subscribe to the your friends who won't pay for news are not going to know about. Like, I would never know. I'd be like, I ain't paying for that shit.
To be like, guess what? Uba is dating a man from... Looks like you've reached your 10 article allowance.
Please subscribe.
Please support journalism. Would you like to subscribe to The Athletic?
But also, before this is going to go off the rails, as we know, throughout the episode. I'd just like to say, starting off, she said it on camera. She showed Sai on camera.
Yeah.
Who cares? Like, who cares?
Literally.
And also, you guys have been chasing Jessel all season, yelling open and honest at Jessel. And you've been doing the same thing to Jenna, running around screaming open and honest. Jenna's not allowed to hide who she's dating, and And now it's the biggest offense that Sai has ever seen, even though that's been her argument against everyone else the entire season. Hypocrite.
Yeah, I don't think anyone really cares about Uba dating Paul Blue Man from New Canaan, Connecticut. Like, no one cares.
No one cares. So, Erin's like, yeah, well, I hope that Jessel and Sai can be like good again, which is why I'm constantly getting around Sai and complaining about Jessel and how much Sai should hate her. But can I be honest with you? Jessel, sometimes she just gets in the roundabout. Okay, she gets in the roundabout. And Uba's like, oh, in Africa, we call that around the bush.
Erin's like, well, she gets around the bush. And Uba's like, we're in Manhattan. There's no bush here. Well... What geographic location would you like this metaphor to take place in?
Also, they're sitting in a park, so it doesn't really work. There's literally bushes everywhere.
Speaking of parks, we now have Sai walking into Central Park. Apparently, she's happy to meet Brynn in Central Park, but she had a trouble meeting Jessel down in Tribeca. So I'm still angry at Sai. So Sai meets up with Brynn, and Brynn's like, "Hi, did you walk into Dior and say I'll take the mannequin? Because guess what? I would fuck a mannequin if I could. I wish I could go into a store after hours, just fuck all those guys."
So they compliment each other's outfits, and it finds out we are here to meet I'm trying to look for the title of the guy, the tree,
Arborist. The arborist,
the sommelier tree,
the tree,
molier.
the concierge. The tree cierge.
Yeah, the tree cierge. Okay, this is such a bullshit business. You can buy a tree in a park. Give me a fucking break. Oh, hey, give me $50,000. You can have that star up there, huh? Go on. I think it's one of those people, but without the business sense to try and sell stars.
Yeah, and Brynn is like, every time I'm in like Central Park, I can't help thinking, is this where Uba had sex? Is that where Uba had sex? I'm like, you should meet more gay men.
No kidding. That is what I think that's what I think too. I even think that when you guys show clips of Central Park, I'm like, I fuck somebody there. Fuck somebody there. It's like a yearbook of my 20s of fucking Central Park. I'm like, wow, we really got away with a lot back then.
I remember walking in Berlin at night by a park, and there were just cruisers in the park calling out to people. They were sort of making sounds to get people to come in the park to have sex. They were going like this. They were just like animals. It was like they're making this weird noise, like. It was so strange, and I loved it. I thought it was great. I was like, good for them.
Well, I was thinking while I was watching this, the last place I'd want to bury my Mima is a tree that I've probably fucked behind in Central Park. But then I thought she always did tell me I was going to hell for that. So actually it might have worked perfectly, just for a little good old ribbon beyond the grave. We can give it to each other in my family. She could take it. Like, okay, Mima. And now for eternity, I'll be fucking a man behind this tree. Enjoy your tree. Enjoy it.
So then Sai tells a story about how her Sai, by the way, please don't bring up her mom. She really does not like talking about her mom. So anyway, my mom, she used to make incense, and we have to sell it in Central Park. So like we just have to do that. We'd have to like go around. I was like so embarrassed to do that.
And Uba's, I feel like I've bought incense from her. Is that weird? I have bought incense probably from an urchin in in Central Park. Wouldn't that be crazy if you're alive? Like a kid in the park, like, hey, Misty, you want to buy some incense? I've probably been like, sure, kid. And taking home the incense. What if our paths crossed?
Abe goes by in like a carriage with a top hat.
I'm like, hold on, let me zip up my pants. I'm just leaving the Meemaw tree. All right, sure, yeah.
Did they have bumper carts in the 1800s? Or that was just carts. That was just people running into each other by accident. Terribly sorry, sir. You will pay for that. You bumped into Abe.
We just see Uba with a broom hitting a bush. Jethro, tell me more. Okay. So, Sai and Brynn keep walking through the park, talking about moms. And Brynn tells her that she's going to get a tree for her grandma, and they're talking to the Central Park Conservancy. And, you can endow a tree. And I'm just surprised that she didn't say to the endowment guy, like,
oh my God, you're like so well endowed.
I love some wood that's well endowed. That's exactly what I was going to say. I'm surprised she said the word endow without losing her mind.
No, it was a very serious scene. You wouldn't know it the way we're talking about it, but it's all about like dead people that people that we loved and lost.
But it was also a 15-minute long scene of them walking to a tree. So, so Brynn is saying that she wants to do something special for her grandma in her memory, and she wants to do something in Central Park because growing up, her grandma would talk ad nauseam, which is what she says like 5 times this episode. About her grandma loved
book.
My grandma talked about ad nauseam about going to Central Park.
So, then she says that her grandma loved ducks because she would always be feeding ducks. Ad nauseam.
nauseum. She fed those ducks ad nauseum. I used to have an aunt, my favorite aunt, who passed away, that traumatized me, as I was saying last week, was named Adele, and we called her a duck because her kids would always make fun of her because she had like a little waddle. And that was like her nickname for us. And I have ducks everywhere. So I related to this. I was like, this is really
ducks.
sweet. I love you, a duck.
I think ducks are wonderful. They're so funny to me.
Don't fuck with them.
So don't
fuck with
Don't
the duck.
fuck a duck.
Just don't mess with ducks. I'll fuck you up. But yeah, she ends up picking this willow tree. First of all, I didn't believe this tree was available. I just don't believe this person. I feel like this person is someone off the street holding up a sign saying like, I can sell you a tree. And she's like, oh my God, are you from the Conservancy? And he was like, sure. And she's paying him $1,000 or something. I just don't believe it because this is a weeping willow tree right by the water. How is that tree available if you're selling? It's a pretty good spot.
With a bench. And oddly enough, Brynn's like, yeah, so now there's gonna be like a permanent living thing in her honor. I'm like, I hate to tell you about trees, but the fact that there's an expression about them falling in the forest. I mean,
yeah, she's like, let's sit on this bench made out of dead trees while we talk about how trees live forever. Also, if I die and you decide to get me a tree, could you get me a tree like this? This is my kind of tree. First of all, I love weeping because, when I start crying, I'm a weeper. I'm not just like a light crier. I'm like, like I'm a weeper. Also, this tree is literally the best. It just leans over and kind of drinks. Like it puts its a little bit into the water and then it's just kind of laying there like it's always in a nap. And that's my kind of tree.
Yeah, it's like, I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Yeah, we will dedicate a weeping willow in your honor, Ronnie. Although I kind of feel like a weeping willow is my vibe too. So I don't know what kind of tree I have.
I feel like you're a straight standing tree.
I feel like you're
not a leaning tree.
I don't know. Like I'm trying to think of the trees. I'm not like an oak. I'm not a maple. I mean, I love maple syrup, but I'm not a maple. I know I'm not a maple. I'm not an olive. I'm not a fig. I'm not a poinciana. I'm not a baobab.
What are those thin trees that like stand straight
birch.
up and they're like a Christmas tree kind of, but not like they don't
like
go
a pine, like a conifer.
Yeah,
because
they're thick.
I could see myself being a birch tree because I often feel like I'm just a super, super white. If people saw me dancing, they'll be like, birch tree.
The most white bread tree of all of the trees.
I listen to Carly Rae Jepsen and I dance the way I dance.
Birch
tree it is.
Birch it is. That's funny. So they could talk about the endowing and all that stuff, and they woo and say aw and hug each other and stuff like that. And
there's ducks in front of the tree, so that makes it all more special.
And Sly's like,
I understand what Brynn is going through a lot because I've been through a lot of the things that she went through. And obviously, like, they're two different situations, but like, she's a little sister to me. And, we've got this real close relationship and nothing can be explained to other people who have not, lost people as important as the people that it just can't be explained anymore. She is my sister. I would like everybody to remember me saying this because of how the episode ends. Favorite person in the world, only person I truly love, Brynn. Nothing's gonna ever come between us.
And we have a very close relationship, even though the tree that she dedicated had more money than I did when I was 16. So now Brynn, but this scene literally goes on.
My
for
Willow
half the
couldn't
show.
even cry as a kid. Like if I got that from my mother, it would never cry. It would never be able to cry. It was too strong to cry. It's just a regular willow tree. That's what I had. We never had the opportunity to cry.
So now Brynn is like hugging the tree. She's like, have you ever hugged a tree? It's actually like the most wonderful thing. And the arborist is like, finally, I feel seen. And Brynn's like, it's so good. It's so good. They're like, look, put your arms around. Oh, I love the girth of this trunk. Yes.
Oh my God, why are my hands sticky?
It's Central Park, girl.
You weren't the first one on this tree.
You're the first one to actually pay for endowing this motherfucking tree. I'll tell you that.
But it's actually a very nice scene. It's very nice.
You'd never know it from this show. Okay, so let's go over to Jessel. Jessel is doing a photo shoot because that's how we roll. So this is a show about photo shoots. So she's doing a photo shoot over at Jenna's apartment.
Right. And she's like, how is this real? How it was her I'm trying to do Jessa voice, but hoarse, and it's a little tricky. So she's like, how is this real? I mean, of course the model's drinking. I'm just turning her to Lisa Vanderpump.
Yeah.
Darling. But how is this real? But of course the model is drinking green juice. You're so cliche. Oh, sister model friend, join me and my good sister friend Jenna in the other room.
You know, I know it may look like it's been a long time coming, but I'm always in my sister Jenna's apartment taking pictures of random things. I'm so glad a model could show up to do it with me this time.
I'm shooting the first campaign for my newest feature, an e-commerce platform bringing ready-to-wear accessories coming out of India and the Middle East. And then she goes into a room, and Jenna, because I didn't realize this was actually in Jenna's apartment at first. I just thought I wasn't paying attention. And then Jenna's like sitting on the floor, assembling all her love scene things like for something, and Jessel's like, Jenna, sister, darling, sister, best friend, what are you doing down there on the floor? And Jenna's like, my friend is doing a photo shoot with Naomi Campbell, and I said I'd give them lashes, so I'm just making the boxes. And I just love the way Jenna just is on the floor, quietly flexing a much bigger photo shoot over whatever Jessel's doing in her living room.
Well, she's also just getting those things on camera again. I mean, girl, she does not do a scene that is not about something that she's selling, and I love it. The episode opened with her selling these fucking eyelashes, and now she's like, okay, you're gonna sell your product in my apartment? Okay, well, I'll just be in here with all my products spread out all over the floor in a room with cameras. Okay,
ready to go to Naomi Campbell, not random girl drinking green juice in my living room.
Okay, so let's see. I don't know. This is a lot of lines. So then Jenna's like, yeah, you know, I have so many photo shoots in my apartment. It's like crazy. Over the past few years, like maybe like, gosh, I don't know, 50? Is that a lot? 60? Is that too much? Oh my God, am I embarrassing myself? 70? No, 13. Is that a better answer? God, I'm just so insecure about it. Can we turn off the cameras a minute? I'm just so nervous talking in front of the cameras. It's hard. It's really hard.
So she's like, Jessel asked if I can help her or anyone else out, and I'm game. I've been supported and helped by other women, and I think that's important to give back to other women while also reminding them that I'm simultaneously doing the same thing, but on a much more high-profile scale with Naomi Campbell. So they're taking photos and everything, and Jenna comes in to see how the photo shoot's going, and of course she like jumps in, which I think is great. I love watching Jenna work, and I just love how she's like, oh, hi, people from Craigslist. It's so fun that you're doing a photo shoot. Let me actually just do it properly for you, since I actually know what I'm doing here. Okay, let's just like move this vase out of the way, and yeah, now that looks cute. Okay, going back to my Naomi Campbell homework.
You look great. You look great. You're a beautiful model. First of all, let's put these eyelashes on you. Great. Those look really good. Okay, now can you make a J with your finger? Okay, because those are the lashes. Love Jenna. Okay, one thing, you might want to not be standing right in front of the cardboard cutout of Michelle Obama. It's weird. I don't know. She hasn't signed a waiver for this, and I pose with that sometimes, just to see how I'll look in different outfits. Whatever. Let's move that over.
Jessel's like, I just, Jenna's a perfectionist, and if I had enough money, I'd hire her to creatively direct this shoot. But I don't have enough money, so what I did was have a photo shoot next to her, and then kept on saying, Jenna, someone from Schitt's Creek is here, and she comes running out, and then she gets distracted by the camera, and then she goes back into her hovel, and I say, the Schitt's Creek woman wants to talk to you again, and she comes running right back out again. It works every single time.
You just might want to move this poster size Prince Harry. I just sometimes like to stare at it and say, God, you're brave. Hold on. Just get that out of the way. You should continue this photo shoot in front of this giant book of Joan Didion.
I did notice that. Hey, can we move the Joan Didion book out of the way? And can we also move away the blueprints for Rockefeller Plaza, which I now control? Okay, great.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna hold on. Let me just fix this dress. What are you putting khaki pants on her? I'm just trying to help.
Jessel's like, oh, this is so good, Sister Jenna. You've done such a good job. I mean, that's good. It's like, it's giving like Serengeti, but like tribal, but like Amazon, but like Iceland, but like Brazil, but like Iowa. I don't know. I'm running out of geographic places. Is she out of the room yet? Oh, thank God.
So she goes to get glue because she's out of glue. And Uba calls first, and Jessel's like, where are you? And she's like, I'm downstairs. The elevator's not working. She's like, oh yes. So, Sister Jenna's elevator's being worked on. Oh hell no! And you didn't tell me? Bye.
Unfortunately, the elevator has a case of the pavits. Not very functional or useful.
Thanks for listening to Watch What Crappens. This is the end of part 1. You can catch part 2 later on.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Strolling the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas.
She's never scary. It's the Green Fairy.
Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know Your Worth with Jason Kurth.
Sip some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying. It's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg. Ruru LaRue.
The Bay Area Betches. Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall.
She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch.
She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly. It's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. We want to hang with Liz Lang. The incredible edible Matthews sisters. Nancy Cease and Desisto.
Give him hell, Miss Noel.
She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke.
Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She's quite the catch. It's Victoria Cotchett.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.
Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Watch What Crappens ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the Amazon Music app today. Or you can listen ad-free with Wondery Plus in Apple Podcasts. Before you go, tell us about yourself by completing a short survey at Wondery.